Alright, how is it going, knife nerds? It has been a minute since I dropped a little knife review, and not without reason. I have been super busy, kind of expanding on my little knife modding service that I do for knife bros and people who want me to work on their knives. So I have been setting up a new Facebook page for Knife Nerd, and the mod work that I do, and kind of posting my little YouTube reviews on there, and the various stuff that I do with knives. So was busy with that, and I've done several knife projects over the past several weeks that have kept me pretty busy in my off hours when I'm not working, and so I just haven't really found time to drop any knife reviews. And also expanded my J-Cape collection in a big way, so some of the other knives that I had went away so that I could expand that collection. And yeah, anyways, my good brother Mr. Stevie Wonder Woman has sent me one of his favorite knives, the Vero Engineering Axon Framelock, and so we're gonna check this little guy out today. And I honestly haven't handled this knife very much. I've had it for a few weeks. I feel bad because I'm keeping Stevie's favorite knife from him, and so I need to hurry up and knock this review out. But I have not, you know, I don't really carry knives that people loan me anyways, because I just don't want to lose them or mess them up or anything. But I haven't had a whole lot of time with this knife, but the time that I did spend with it, I kind of tuned it up a little bit, you know, cleaned it and adjusted a few things for Mr. Stevie to make it a little more solid for him. And yeah, man, so far I really, you know, first impressions, I dig this knife. It's pretty cool. You know, the great thing about this, the last Vero engineering knife that I had was the Synapse XL, and I pointed out some really bad ergonomic flaws in that knife. This one doesn't really have that. The ergos are pretty good. It's still got that ridiculously big clip ramp that I'm just not a fan of, but other than that, you know, there's nothing stabbing me or poking me or uncomfortable here. It's a very neutral feeling handle, and so that was the first thing that I noticed. You know, of course, Best Tech doing the builds for these, the action is pretty good. You know, I wouldn't call it quite Riot good, but it's good. It feels real solid. This one, Stevie has replaced the bearings. It does have skiffs in it, so yeah, it definitely feels nice and solid. The V-spot is located on both sides of the blade on this particular model, and so even a lefty can use that, you know, V-spot to flick it out, I guess, if you don't put pressure on the lock bar. I'm left hand inept, so I can't do it. But anyways, yeah, man, I dig the action on this. It's pretty smooth. I wouldn't call it drop shutty. I'm sure some of them are. This one is not, but it is very, very buttery smooth, and I very much like the sounds, particularly when you use the front flipper. It has a very nice lockup sound. Very solid, nice sounding thwack, and I'm just not a front flipper fan. It doesn't feel natural to me, but you know, if as far as front flippers go, this one works perfectly fine. No issues with it. The jimping's not too aggressive, so it's not shredding my thumb. Middle finger flick is very good. You can, of course, pinch it out, slow roll it, and all of that. So yeah, good action, good ergos. It has a stonewashed finish on the blade here. It's got a very attractive swedge up top, and the classic sheep's foot, kind of Warncliffe sheep's foot type thing going on here. And I dig the blade shape, I dig the handle shape. Full long back spacer, which really lends to that really solid feel on this build here. It feels very rigid. The whole knife overall feels very rigid, which I very much like. So that, you know, that long back spacer, I feel like that kind of adds to that solid feel. And yeah, let's see. So we got the Vero logo located there on the spine of the blade. And on the bottom here, it is numbered number 329, it looks like to me. And there are some shallow internal milling pockets. You probably can't see those on here, but I can assure you there are pockets milled out in there. The weight on this feels really good. I like the weight. And yeah, geez, I guess I just don't have a lot of complaints about this knife. It's pretty good. Would I buy one? Probably not in the, you know, in the price bracket that these sell in, you know, over $300, $350 or so for the Framelock version. They have the liner lock versions, which are significantly cheaper. $350 is a stretch for me. Not due to any, you know, shortcomings of the knife. You know, I just feel like there are other things in that price bracket that I could get that I would like more. You know, it's a fair price, I think, but I probably wouldn't put one in my collection for that price. You know, to me, this feels like a $250 knife, and that's about what I'd be willing to spend on it. Because, you know, let's face it, you can get something similar to this from like We Knives or you know, any number of the Chinese manufacturers for 250 bucks, and this being $100 more, I don't really get that. You know, I guess it's just you know, brand recognition. Vero engineering hype, you know, allows this knife to sell for that price, but I don't think it should. If you look at, you know, Best Tech's line of knives, that their in-house stuff, you know, you don't really see them in the $350 range. You know, their in-house stuff typically $250, $279, somewhere around there, you know, for their premium models, and you get more features than what are coming on this when you're getting a typical, you know, in-house Best Tech design, and they're cheaper. So I just don't, you know, I don't see the justification for this costing what it does. I just don't. Yeah, so T8 hardware, that's a plus. You know, a non-tooled front side pivot. It is a captured pivot, and it's captured on the screw side, which is a little bit odd to me. You know, I feel like it should have probably been captured over here, but when I disassembled it, you know, come to find out there's a little D-shaped cutout on the pivot on this side, so it isn't actually captured until you've got the knife fully assembled, which is never been a fan of that. Yeah, but you know, overall pretty sweet knife, man. And I just wanted to kind of, you know, get this thing knocked out, because I did a little bit of mod work on another knife for Stevie, and I need to get his knives returned back to him ASAP, because I've had them for a while and I feel bad keeping his favorite knife from him here. And so yeah, man, this has been the Vero Engineering Axon. And you know, keep an eye on the channel. I'm gonna have more updates coming soon, more reviews and stuff. I've got some things lined up that I need to get knocked out, and yeah, so I can, you know, kind of focus on you know, the knife mod work that I'm doing, and the new Facebook page that I need to constantly add to expand it, and you know, have some content on there that people can kind of sink their teeth into. And yeah, man. All right, until next time, guys. Later.